Here's how to get your vocals to sound like Travis Scott in his song 90210. Here's a preview of what we're gonna get today.
Star girl, all from the valley, who left her hometown world, all for the alley.
So let's go ahead and start in this very beginning background vocal. Alright, the first thing we're gonna do is apply autotune onto the vocal. Travis Scott uses a generous amount of autotune on here, so we're gonna set our retune speed at 10. Here's what the vocal sounds like. After we have that, we're going to send that to a bus where we're going to have our main processing for the vocal. This to clear it up and give the vocal some clear, clean, consistent quality. Next, we're going to focus on the modulation effects for this background vocal. The first thing we're going to have is a doubler 2. I noticed Travis Scott had this wide, kind of chorusy tune type of vocal effect here. After that, we're going to use the H delay. We're going to set this to 1/4 and make sure our BPM is set for the song. And the very last thing is adding an R verb. Next up, we're going to focus on this female vocal part. I believe the vocalist in this area was Casey Hill. Here's a preview on trying to get that same quality as Casey Hill.
Mama's smelling out that blue, craving 90210.
So similar process as shown earlier, we're going to start with auto-tune artist to auto-tune the vocal. And here for the retune speed, I'm just setting that back a little bit at 12. Next up, we're going to have the main processing for the vocal. This lead chain is going to be the same with the background vocal, this area with Casey Hill, and then also with the main lead vocal that we hear Travis Scott on. So here's what it sounds like.
Mama's smelling out that blue, craving 90210.
Now we're going to focus on the modulation effects. First thing we're going to have is the H delay. Then we're going to have the H reverb. This is going to give it that full reverb type of sound that you heard from Casey Hill.
Mama's smelling out that blue, craving 90210.
Now we're going to focus on the area for Travis's vocals. Now for Travis's vocals here, I'm setting the retune speed up at 5 because there's a prominent amount on this lead. Next, we're going to have the lead processing on this vocal. Here's what it sounds like so far.
She a porn star girl, all from the valley, who left her hometown world, all for the alley.
All right, now focusing on the modulation effects for Travis's lead. The first plugin you want to have is GTR Amp. Travis Scott had this cool distorted amplified vocal effect within his lead. These are the settings you want to have to emulate a similar sound. Another key note for this effect with GTR Amp, you want to decrease the well level down to 30%. You don't want this effect to overpower your vocal, but you want it to be tucked there. So here's a quick before and after. If we put at 100%, here's what it sounds like.
She a porn star girl, all from the valley.
And if we bring it to 30%, here's what it sounds like.
She a porn star girl, all from the valley.
All right, cool. Now we're going to focus on the second set of modulation effects for Travis's lead. The first step is a doubler 2. I noticed Travis's vocals had this slight stereo whisk, so that's why we're using this plugin. After that, we're going to have an H delay to add some delay into the vocal. Then the final thing is an R reverb just to create a little bit of ambience in the mix. Here's what that sounds like.
She a porn star girl, all from the valley, who left her hometown world, all for the alley.
And then there's this one small section where Travis Scott had this deep vocal effect. Here's a preview.
All for that cutie.
So this part is simple. All you have to do is just chop this vocal, double click it. Depending on what DAW you're in, for FL Studio, there's a pitch knob and you can drop this down by 1,200 cents. But that deep voice effect is pretty simple to make. Now hearing everything together, here's the final product.
Star girl, all from the valley, who left her hometown world, all for the alley. Ooh, created Lake Tahoe, all from her panties. Ooh, used to take the long way home, all for that cutie. Flame, now he rolling on the Addy. 50 on the chain, another 50 on the caddy. Ooh, he might pop him a pill, pop him a seal, pop anyone, pop anything to find the alley. Yeah, to find the alley.
The vocal preset for this will be available in the description and also top of the comments. Comment what other songs you would like to hear from the 2010s. Also, as a side note, I released a new song called No Sense. I'll put a link for that in the description and the comments as well. But that's all. I'll catch everyone on next video. Keep making music.
Star girl, all from the valley, who left her hometown world, all for the alley. Ooh, created Lake Tahoe, all from her panties. Ooh, used to take the long way home, all for that cutie. Flame, now he rolling on the Addy. 50 on the chain, another 50 on the caddy. Ooh, he might pop him a pill.